Hello, sziasztok, én Weber vagyok, és megnézzük most, hogy milyen is ez a Necromancer nevezetű játék, ami ilyen Realtime Stratégia játék, per RPG, per gótikus, per hát mindenféle ilyen kis indie cucc, úgyhogy megnézzük, hogy mit tud ez a gamesz, de szerintem nagyjából a fő tematika az így a vélmágia, vagy éppen holtak feltámasztása lesz Necromancerből ítélve, úgyhogy mindenféle mágiával fogunk találkozni most ebben az adásban, és nagyon sok történetszállat, mert valami nem 1000 hülyeséget nem mondjak, 100 darab achievement van a játékban, úgyhogy acsivadászoknak ajánlani tudom, hogy ha egy pár évre szeretnétek játékot, akkor ez lesz az. Megnézzük, mi ez az analitika. Yes. Jó, ez csak az, hogy elküldjük a fejlesztőknek. A story, balanced és strategy mód. Hát szerintem balanced. 5 skill pont per chapter, igen. Choose the narrative and adventure, skip to turn-based combat. Aha, turn-based combat van, oké, és ezt nem tudtam. Jó, kezdjük is. Chapter 1. Prológus. Aki még nem tette, azt kövessen be itt a Twitch-en.
In the year of our Lord, 1701, the Republic of Venice went to war with the sovereign monarchy of Ralston. This war was over passage rights through the Adriatic Sea, though this point will rarely be brought up when the war is discussed by future historians.
Okay. És aki pedig YouTube-on vodként nézi, az pedig ott iratkozzon föl a kedves YouTube-on, és a videó leírásra megtaláljátok a Twitch linket, meg a egyéb linkeket, meg mindenféle információt, és hogyha írtok kommentet, akkor még jobb amúgy, meg ha nyomtak egy lájkot, meg egy megosztást, az nagyon sokat segít. Na de, igen, you can skip to the prologue, interactive prologue, you wish. Igen. Quick set.
It was, like most wars, overstretched and too costly. Neither side could afford it, nor would they back down. Many lives were lost, and whatever the outcome, each nation would nurse its wounds for some time.
Aha, szóval évekkel a roldok 500-as években? Szóval nem vagyok jó angol számolásban, úgyhogy nekem az 500-as években lesz. Republic of Venice. Szovjet monarchok Rastennel harcoltak, és Adói tengeren, vagy valami hasonló. Discuss future historian, ez a jövő története, vagy valami hasonló. Most war overstretched to cost to be necessary. How many lives lost the council? Száplók meg kötözgették időnként.
The war raged on for 6 years, draining both countries' resources. But the Republic of Venice was older than Ralston and had deeper pockets. In a war of attrition, they would win, and both sides knew it.
Az a lényeg, hogy 6 évig tartott ez a háború a Venice és Rasten között, de Rasten az mélyen a zsebébe kellett nyúljon. Itt Szerintem ez azt akarja jelenteni, hogy win and both sides win it, szóval hát senki sem győzött.
3 generals from Ralston, 2 brothers and a close friend, came together to strategize, and came up with nothing. They would not win this war.
3 generál és 2 testvér és egy közeli barát együtt voltak stratégák, és tudtak, nem tettnek semmit, nem tudják megnyerni ezt a háborút.
In desperation, one reached out to a dark power and was told to make pilgrimage to Golgotha. With no other avenue, they spent 1 month sailing to the walls of Jerusalem, where they docked under cover of darkness.
Elhatározták talán, hogy a fekete mágiával, fekete erőkkel menjetek egy 2 kört. És egy golgotai jegyzetben találtak ilyen fekete mágiával kapcsolatos, fekete erőkkel kapcsolatos dolgokat, és úgy gondolták, nincs más esélyük, és egyszer Jeruzsálem falainál, a dokkoknál, a sötétben.
On the hill where the man named Jesus died, they met a figure, too old to identify as man or woman. It offered them a book, an already ancient thing made of pale leathers and filled with symbols that hurt their eyes to look upon. The thing smiled as they took it, a smile made of too many teeth.
Ha is elfogadták ezt, vagy Jeruzsálem falainál kapták ezt a jegyzetet, egy nagyon idős Mountain Hill, azon a hegyen, ahol Isten meghalt, és Krisztus meghalt, és öreg figura, akit nem lehetett beazonosítani, hogy férfi vagy nő, ajánlott ezt a könyvet, egy régi ősi, bőrrel bevont szimbólumokkal tele, a szemnek fájdalmas volt a kinyitása, és ez a vigyor, ami nagyon sok fogat jelentett meg, igen, itt van a
Full of dread for what they had seen and what they were about to do, they sailed for another month to get home.
Utána visszajöttek haza, pár hónapra otthon is voltak.
Things had gone badly in the time they were away. Soon they would have to surrender, and Ralston would fall into decline, one it was unlikely to survive.
Hamarosan feladják, és elesik, és nem fognak szépen bánni a túlélőkkel.
Whatever doubt the men had about using the knowledge in that book, their mind was set now. They cast its pages open and chanted dark incantations. And lo, did the dead walk upon the earth that night.
Ha nem hozott az ember, akkor használt, akkor a tudás, ami a könyvben van, az mind használható egyből. Mikor elkezdi olvasni és kinyitni, a sötétség fogja el. őket. Ez loaded van, és a halál kezd el járkálni a földön az este.
Undead sailors hauled themselves into the Venetian boats. Soldiers dragged themselves from battlefields and clawed up from shallow graves to drive the Venetians from the land. The war was won. The Venetians could not fight Ralston's impossible numbers. They surrendered, the book was shut, and the dead were dead once more. The book was destroyed, but the world had noticed. Ralston had dark magic, and no shame in using it. Many enemies, without and within, were born that day.
meg annyi Veniten hajó, meg katona merült el, és volt ezen a csatatéren és egész, hát egy nagy sílharom volt az egész Venitens ország vagy helység. A háború nyelve, Veniten not fight. Rusztenek possible number. Rusztenek nagyon nagy számban voltak. Feladták és a könyv becsukták. És a halottak újra halottak voltak ezután. A könyvet megsemmisítették és jegyezték. Ruszten fekete mágia és többet nem használták. Meg annyi ellenfél halt, vagy hogy vett. Közvetett, közvetlen született a nap.
1711. 3 years later, a child was born to one of the generals involved in unleashing the spell. A beautiful baby girl.
Az 111. Baby girl. Leila. Your name? Leila. A 3 opciónk van. Storm Knight, we are born. The game is on ship as Doom and Dragon ocean floor below. Come to pass, overheat the night, one that cyclone, purple and green. Ez szerintem izé akar lenni, úgyhogy ez.
The night you were born, a blood moon hung low in the sky.
Igen, vérhold volt, alacsonyan szállt az ég. Aha, szóval itt lehetett volna változtatni a statjainkon, így most HP-ra, tudásra és a analízisre kaptunk pluszt.
Shepherds took their flocks in, and old women lit candles in windows to ward off such an ill omen.
Nagy öreg asszony volt gyertyával, aki hát
you were taken from your mother and left with a nursemaid for your first few days in this world.
megint választási lehetőségeink vannak. Nézzük meg, akkor gondolom ezáltal jelzi, hogy mit ad. She wants to the girl with the poor, quite president, for yesterday included himself. That's not really.
A heavy-set lady who helped raise many children in the town. She was lauded for her understanding of children and how their minds behaved, though nobody turned up at her funeral when she died of heart failure. You were born into wealth and status, and had all you could wish for. But your parents never had another child, and your father was often preoccupied with his work. Your mother, distant, sickly and delirious, you heard another mother say. Hoffman, the family steward, raised you more than... It was a lonely childhood. 1718. You are 8 years old. You play with friends from school, 2 poorer boys, Diedrich and Flip. Your father disapproves. You play in the graveyard outside the city. Nobody goes there without an armed guard. But children do not care for such things. Children are small and fast, and can outrun ghoul, at least when the sun is up. One day, as you play, you hear a rustling coming from some trees. You all freeze. Then a stone whizzes out of the green and hits you on the head. You stare in disbelief, a slow trickle of blood running down your face, partially blocking sight from your left eye. You scan the tree line and spot Sophia, a girl you recognize from school. She throws another stone at you, but you are ready and avoid it.
Stay still! I need you to bleed enough for a ghoul to sniff you out.
She calls out.
I want to see them hunt.
Stay still in the bleed and not girls. Go around to see den hand. Jó van. Sok. Igen. The next ring stone and above the side. You want to careful on matters. The trees don't need to grab. Looking to spot the shade.
Why would you want to see a ghoul hunt me? Hunt anyone?
Miért vadászik rá egy ghoul?
She didn't answer that day, but she did end up becoming your friend. It was many years later, as an adult, when you learned a ghoul killed her mother, and she wanted to know how she died. She didn't say it, but something in how she told the story, perhaps simply in her telling of it, gave you the impression that she had gotten her wish.
Aha, jó pár éve később, mikor felnőtt korba léptünk, megtanultuk, hogy a ghoul megölte az anyánkat, de mi már tudtuk, hogy hogyan tudjuk őt megölni, és you wanted something how to do the story, perhaps telling Jane when got to her is. Ez volt a kíváncsiság.
You are woken by a scratching sound at your window. You lift yourself up on one arm and rub your eyes with the other. The scratching sound turns to a chipping one, and a moment later there is a muffled sound of glass breaking. A thin black arm reaches in then and unlatches the window. You know that arm. That kind of arm. A ghoul. You scream as it pulls the window open and pulls itself into the room. You've never been so close to one. Its face is like a man's, but gaunt and twisted into a sorrowful, angry expression. It lands on the floor of your room with a sickening thud, and as it stands, it ripples and twists in unnatural ways. You scramble away from it, hot tears streaming down your face as you continue to scream, your throat already sore.
Hot tears, forró könnyek peregtek lefelé az arcunk. És folytattad a üvöltést.
The door behind you swings open. Your father steps in. As he looks at the creature, his face is expressionless. He enters the room, sword in hand, and feints to the left. As it lunges, he sidesteps to the right and slices downwards. The gore that sprays from the thing as it falls flicks onto your face. Your father looks down at you for a moment, then nods and leaves to make sure there are no others. You never play in the graveyard again. 1721. One morning, your mother comes to your school. She takes you out, even though classes are not finished. She says everything is okay, but you do not believe her.
Jó, akkor azt játszották, hogy meghalt a Gül. És akkor az anyjával valamit izéltek. Defense gives here away. Stick up. They are only the warning.
Her presence alone is the warning. Your mother never comes to your school. When you were too young to go alone, Hoffman brought you. Now you travel alone. She has never come here. She brings you around the town. First you stop to buy sugared apples. Then she takes you shopping. New clothes, new books, new toys. A luggage trunk. She brings you to the castle, and with some whispered words and coins exchanged, the guard lets you into the grounds. You go to the pond and throw bread and watch fish pop their heads up to steal from the ducks. You walk the city walls, and the two of you take in the view. The sea to the west, the hills to the south, the forest to the east and north, and beyond the northern tree line, the road that leads to the capital. That, she tells you through teary eyes, is where you're going. You won't understand until you're older. Maybe not even then. You need more than I can give you. You protest. She cries. When she stops crying, she doesn't remember where you are, how you got there. A watchman brings you home. There your father glares at you, angry that you upset your mother, angry at your non-compliance. Hoffman brings you to your room to help you put your new clothes and books and toys into your new trunk. He tells you that she loves you, that this is for the best. A few days later, your carriage rides out of town. In your children's stories, events like this happen on rainy days, but today is sunny and clear-skied. As the carriage crests a hill, you can look back towards the city and see it all. The farms, the walls, the groves, the castle, the seas. You're home. How do you feel as you are taken away? angry, feeling unwanted and tossed aside. 1722. A year has passed. More quickly than you might have expected. Winter's first snow falls lightly outside. You watch from your dorm and reflect on your time here.
This year was hard on you. It started many fight. You need one too. You are thankful to everybody here. Books by your salvation. This new life with making many friends.
You are thankful for the library here. Books have been your salvation. You look at the collection of books scattered around you now. Buried under them are the books your mother bought you over a year ago. You've read 1725. Your schooling is done now. Your time here is over. You spent much of this year deciding what to do next. In the end, you decided to continue with education. You are unsure where this will lead you. With your path decided, you found you had time before your training began, so you made the trip home to visit your parents and tell them of your plans. Your travel home feels faster than it was leaving. Perhaps mindset, perhaps age, perhaps because you have done it once already and can spy milestones. Whatever the reason, you arrive home to your mother and Hoffman awaiting you. Your father is not there, but joins you for dinner that evening. It had been 4 years since you were home. Not a long time for some, but a quarter of your life. You had this idea that you had matured, changed so much in that time, but... you still find your father to be as inscrutable as ever. You try to engage the man, talk about his interest. Despite this, it is good to be home again. To see your 1727. One day, you learn that your class has been granted an audience with the great scientist Isaac Newton. When you enter his home in Hampshire, a young lady, his niece you later learn, brings you into the drawing room where he is having afternoon tea. A teacher and 11 students entered the room ahead of you, and you could hear the great man welcoming them. As you entered, you noted he no longer had the flowing white locks you'd seen in paintings. He was bald, and his skin was sunken. Still, he composed himself well as he greeted the others. Then he came to you. He looked at you a moment, eyes wide and mouth baring teeth. He pointed a bony finger at you.
Who is this with whom death walks? Why have you taken the Reaper to me? My time is not nigh, and I shall not go. Begone, herald of the Death Angel!
The old man continued to shriek at you, going so far as to throw tea at you. You left. A classmate told you he took some calming down before he would continue with the talk, and seemed hurried and distracted throughout. Word reached you a month later that Newton had died. It was peaceful, in his sleep, and said to be of natural complications in line with his deteriorating. A few days later, a letter arrives telling you that a civil war of sorts has broken out in your homeland. A lich, a powerful undead sorcerer, has begun raising the dead and marches on the capital. So far, its armies show no sign of moving out of Ralston, but Venetian and Habsburg forces are amassing on their respective borders to repel anything that tries to cross them. You spend the next year following the news as it comes, conflicting reports in newspapers and the occasional letter from home.
Konfliktusról kaptunk reportot és újságokat.
Eventually, word reaches you that the Lich has been defeated, that its forces collapsed as the final blow was struck. Your father was at that battle, as was your uncle. You learn your uncle was wounded as well.
Dolog van benne. Ez ugye, ez a karakterünknek az előtörténete.
For thousands of others in the country.
Ugye ezért Tales, mert kegyetlen sok történet van benne, és ugye most jelenleg tesszük össze... De haviskás, mi vagy te itt zeneszerző, Braino? Haviskás, ez sima szín, van itt 4 akadémik. Ugye most tesszük össze így nagyjából a karakterünknek a tudását, ugye hogy az RPG elemeket, meg így ilyen háttérsztorit kapunk, ugye, hogy ki tudtuk választani, hogy nő vagy férfi legyen, mit csinált, hogy maradt a izékkel, a sírok között játszani, vagy elment valahova máshova a városba, stb.
Many times you think of your terrible meeting with Newton. You read up on his other work, his alchemical and eschatological studies, his scouring of the Bible for clues to the nature of existence, and cannot help but wonder what he had read that led him to see your nation's struggle in your face before a word of it had reached you. 1729. Your training complete, you land your first post.
You work labor.
An archaeological dig in Herculaneum hires you to help with the excavation. Herculaneum was buried alongside Pompeii when Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. Found by chance in 1709, groups had been going there to dig what they could from the ash. You expect it to be delicate, slow work. The men who hired you dig tirelessly and aggressively. When they find anything, they call you. Is it of value? If yes, it is kept. If not, they hurl it aside. They are looters. You are a looter.
Don't care, this money is made of you. Want to maximum profit, cannot breathe tricking like this. Little possibilities flying out, hold it down, and compact some days, real team, probably. Na lopjunk, vagy ne lopjunk? Kell a pénz.
There's money to be made of this, and I do what I can to maximize our profit. 1731. You are through the early years of your career now. You have earned some recognition and accolades, some time from work, and a purse are made available to you. As you take some time to enjoy this leave, a terrible thing happens to you.
Your arm broke to Trident Alps. Hunting trip presently with Thomas Mount. Night down and leg wings damaged. Aha, vagy kéztörés az Alpokba, vagy egy vadászbaleset, ami van egy gyomor dolgot csinál, vagy van egy lábsérülés egy este a városban.
Your arm is broken while climbing the Alps. You had been talking with your friend, Astrid, and you both agreed that you needed to blow off some steam. You decided on a vigorous mountain climb, and so you planned a weekend hike up a nearby mountain, with an overnight stay at the summit. It was late summer, so you knew you wouldn't need to pack too much. A tent, some food, and, of course, hiking equipment. The day before the hike, you travelled to a rented chalet at the mountain's base. You spent that evening going over maps, making plans, and divvying the gear, before getting an early night's sleep. The next day, you rose early and began. The early part of the hike was quite pleasant, as you wandered through the lush green forest that covered the mountain's base. By midday, you were exiting the forest. From here on, it was sparse and stony trails. Unsure you'd find enough wood at the top for a fire, you gathered some here. The extra wood was bulky and unbalanced you both, but you agreed to carry it for now and abandon it if it became problematic. Soon the incline became steep enough that you needed to start climbing. You worked in tandem to advance, taking short breaks as they presented themselves. At one point, a rope snapped, and Astrid hurt her shoulder as she crashed into the cliff face. In your scramble to secure her, you lost much of the wood you had gathered earlier. You both took a moment to calm your nerves before carrying on. When you finally hoisted yourself up over the edge of the cliff, you found yourself facing a cave. You shouted in to see if your voice echoed. It did, but not by much. You turned to help Astrid up. With the sun setting, you decided to leave your ropes in place so you could make it to the summit before night came, and you set off on the final stretch. You reached the summit as the sun disappeared over the horizon. Astrid set the camp, and you took what little wood survived the journey and built a fire. By the time she had the tent up, your food was heated. The two of you sat, tired but proud of your accomplishment. You talked a while, discussing routes back down and how to improve techniques. A wind picked up, and soon your fire died. You climbed into your tent, but you didn't stay there for long. The wind kept growing, and you both knew that if you had stayed there, your tent would blow away. You took it down as a strong gale whipped up around you. You carried it, wrapped under your arms down the mountainside to the cave you had passed earlier. You entered, laughing as the wind howled outside. It took a moment for your eyes to adjust to the darkness. "What was that?" asked Astrid. You'd heard nothing, just the wind, you replied. Then, in the dark, something moved. A grey mass against the black cave wall. Something uncoiled and stood. It snarled and charged at you both. You pushed Astrid out of the way and barely avoided the first swing. A large hand, the size of your head, slammed into the ground with a massive thud. You rammed your elbow under the creature's ribs and it yelled. It spun around, faster than you could react, and backhanded you across the cave. Your face stung and your head throbbed, but you had no time. You picked yourself up as you heard it nearing. You jumped on it and buried your thumbs into where you hoped it had eyes. It shrieked and grabbed you by the arm. It tightened its grip on you, and you felt something crunch under your skin. You yelled. It hurled you towards the cavern's mouth. Astrid, who had managed to get out while you fought the thing, was able to seize you by the legs and dragged you. The thing followed you to the cave mouth and bellowed after you. You got a good look at it then. A nigh 10-foot grey-blue body, rippled with muscles and bristling with white hair. A hammerling, one of the mountain giants. It didn't follow you out onto the mountainside. You and Astrid, tentless now, found a crevasse to hide in, pained and cold until morning. Thankfully, the climb down was easier, despite your broken arm, in part because you left your ropes anchored. It took a few months for your arm to mend. You still haven't regained its full strength since that night. On cold days, it seizes up still. 1733. When you learned of your father's death, you were...
Father death of it. Oh, again, what you learned of your father's death? You were at work, resting in your home, wanted it at work.
At work. You were called into a private room, and the news was delivered to you by your superior. It was a small stone room, only one way out, and that was blocked by your supervisor. You were trapped in that terrible grey space, in more ways than one. Something changed in you then, and not for the better. I was overcome with sorrow. Any chance I had at repairing that relationship had just been pulled from me. A future robbed. Now, days later, your carriage crests the hills towards Marnes, the sun blasting off the red and yellow bricks and rippling off the blue sea beyond. You are almost home. Home to reclaim my life here, now that the man who sent me away is dead.
Na, igen, maradt. Ez a Todó, ez erre elvehet, igen, le. Ugye most itt gyorsan is megtudja, a skill pontok 0. Igen, itt tudunk most még ugye változtatni, elvenni dolgokból. Ez mit jelent? Ja, itt van. Igen. Covenants ability dies. Talk about it, impress less charm. Hát charmunk az nem lett. Analyze ability people. Aha, ez az igazság érzetszerűség. Details of the place elements in with all pushes. Igen, ez a nyomozásoknál segít. És lefelé important information, social history, monitoring, medical fact. Aha, mindenféle tudás. Amit lefelé logistic thing. Aha, ez szintén nyomozásnál a nyomozási töredékeket könnyebben össze tudjuk tenni. Ez heal potion, egyéb resistek, ellenállások. Agilitydek szerint milyen combat. Ez, hogyha ugye íjjal, egyéb ilyen lövőeszközzel lövünk. Ez meg ugye a fizikális sebzésünk jelenleg. Úgyhogy ez nem jött össze. Ez a Homecoming Chapter 2. A hosted Norgate, Mars, the couch, killing stiff heel, surrounding the oak before the great forest wind farmland. You young woman accustomed to breach and the coachman current.
Should we stop, madam?
Miért álltunk meg, asszonyom? Vagy álljunk meg, asszonyom? Yes. No, drive on. Trust increased one. Stone odd. Here. Látom, nagyon mesés a grafika. Nagyon poli és mesés.
Whoa there!
Carrying study stop. Szóval kidobott Hoffman. Ha itt vagyunk.
Welcome home, my lady. I trust your journey was a pleasant one.
Home for my father. Level 2. Skill check, level 2 analyzing check. This system has need 2 levels analytic skill. Full field. 0 skill point and nothing something. Old man is unexpected face. Expected that to the starting too long because silence.
If madam wishes to go inside, I shall follow along with the luggage.
Oh, that left him be. Nézzük meg, hogy ez ilyen kell legyen. Ez... Vagy a puzzle ez ott, Shadow... Nem, azt csinálta ezt a nagyon kizélést. De itt sem a legjobb amúgy. Aha, ez ad neki egy ilyen motion blur, ez a painterly effekt. Attól a blom, ezeket kikapcsoljuk, akkor mennyire? Ez semmit nem segít. Jó van, így jó lesz. Painterly.
Please, go inside and I'll follow along with the bags once I pay the driver.
Aha. Menjünk be a house-ba. Ott lehetett volna nyomozni, hello. Ja, menjünk be, menjünk ki. Ja, nézzük, mit tudunk nyomozni. Ott, standing. Still silver thing. I'm jumping to this one here and the equip and so on left and go. Aha, itt ez az emlékeket hozzá elő. El tudunk távolodni valamennyit. Aha, itt vannak ágyuk. Lehet, aha, tudjuk forgatni a kamerát. Szokás szerint. Csetti. Aha, ez mindig kijön. Ott is kijön. Jó, mint ezek megvoltak. Be. Ott van Juliannek. Ott vannak investigálható dolgok. Resting to armor needed as Albert. Meg kell kérdezni Albertet kié. Jó, painting of one. No, Albert biztos tudja. Borok, percent minusint. Hát ez a hal. Nézzük meg Juliet.
Zelig, did we not bury you?
Ahogy ő az anyánk, jó.
Oh, my baby has returned. Your father will be so glad to see you. Your father. Your father. Oh.
Double click run. Aha, hogyha kettőt nyomok, vagy shift-tel. Shift és WASD-vel tudunk futni. The card display in tables. Open card from Uncle Velogelsky. Ahogy meg tudjuk nézni. Aha. Üljenek el. Ezek ilyen... Aha. Hát ez ilyen... részvétnyilvánítós üzenetek. Kell mindenki részvételt nyilvánított Juliannak. Képeslap formájába. Hát kegyetlen sok történet, olyan mint hogy kegyetlen, tényleg gazdag történetben. Igen, és akkor még van ez a Sophie, ha ő a barátosnénk. Ez a Sophie, és akkor most mehetünk. Lehet... Oda be tudunk menni abba a szobába. Aha. Itt is volt valami, amit meg lehetett nézni. Gulliver utazása. Hunting Plague. Menjünk föl. De ez lesz a... Itt a library. Valamivel ki tudjuk nyitni, tudja ezt a szobát. Vagy máskor dolog kell? Lehet, hogy máskor dolog kell innen. Ja, innen kell oda átmenni. Most time. AORUS mit? Ez a Black Flag. Hogy kijelzi, hogy mi hol megfigyelhető, Shakespeare, Dexter, Pineapple. Előtt mappot. Be van zárva az a polc. Meg kell találni a kulcsot. Nézzük, hogy mellette kéne menjünk akkor. Szerintem itt terveztem így. Szobánk valahol ez lenne az. A játék, chest. Lehet lobdosni. 4 cucc, my bedroom, igen. Este tudunk aludni. Nem tudunk, azt már cuccoltuk, de itt van 2 valami, az hátrébb van. Következő szoba. Oda hogy tudunk eljutni? Oldalt elvileg. Vagy nem? Hint. Actually, Journeys. Before anything else, talk to Avram and Montas. Me and my father die. Must find the key for the desk. The government information they need. Aha. Albettel is az anyjával kell beszélni. Megtudni, hogy mi történt az öreggel. Pár pillanat. Akarnák már nekromantázni. Spare bedroom. Valahonnan pedig arrébb lehet menni. Nincs ott egy izé. Nincs valahol itt ajtó. Nem, ott az egy izé lépcső feljáró hátul. Itt alul valahol lesz akkor másik izé. Az ajtó, aha, ott a nagy ajtó, és a nagy ajtónál kell átjönni. Na, gyere már! Gyere, megakad. Igen. Ezek a cuccaim valamit. Mivel segíthetek? Dimension my father die, question aspect, forgive me and let's tell you something most of something. House. My father died, checked again. I'm trying this parliament because my father died. Megkérdezik, hogy hol van a kulcs. I'm not afraid for the gift as an outfit. Aha, a motorunknak is van egy kikszel lett, ami ott meghalt az apjuk. Fajtányos, absorokat. A dok kilátta a notebook, ez a dok minden. Service-nél a újdonság és mi a terv a temetés. Ready happening, my ladies. Szóval mi volt itt 10 évet? Majd még beszélünk vele, itt vannak a cuccaim. Aha, és akkor el kéne menni. Aha. Ez egy asztal. Anyám még ott táncikál pont már. Van egy kitakított is Rozi. Valahol itt van lépcsőföld, itt ez az. Ott lent is van valami. Linkre, igen, itt olos. Storm. Nem tudjuk kinyitani még. Jó. Fogom felmenni. Igen, itt vannak dolgok megint. This is Storm, Patek, Information, Téz, Sajt. Aha. Teleszkóp. Chest, van benne pisztoly, kitüntetés. Jó, menjünk szépen le. Aha, itt van anyjuk. Aha. Itt van mindenféle egyéb. Piano. Olyan nagy piano. Itt bőrbeutazás, ezt néztük. Megvannak.
Can I help you, my lady?
Néztem.
You're back? This is delightful news. It must have been 5 years since we last met. Why, I heard of your father's passing. Terrible thing, but it won't overshadow my joy at seeing you.
That you have simply because meeting years ago something that we talk later.
Oh, this and that. I never really settled on anything, being honest. Yes, I was. I didn't manage to sell many, I'm afraid. I'm not cut out for it, it seems. Oh, this and that. I never really settled on anything, being honest. All the world's a stage, and the men and women... Well, yes. I fear my stage career started and ended in my school. Well, at least my troupe did. I didn't tread the stage in many performances, I'm afraid. I probably spend too much time in garnets these days.
Of course, it's no chance. Léte, jó van, később beszélünk Szofival. Igen. Mikor küldik, meg tele vagyunk küldivel. Jó. Aha, közben ide jött. Ebben van valami? Párkják. Egyéb dolgok. De most jön utánunk, nagyon jó. Olyan, hogy nincs itt semmi extra. Tudunk menteni? Tudunk. Szóval F8 van gyors mentés. Most csaptiket ne le. Szép, okés. Mentünk egyet, mert itt a többiek nagyon hívogatnak. Köszönöm szépen a figyelmet, most így átmenetileg ennyi lesz a Necromancer tél. Ugye itt ez egy nagyon sztori központú játék, és majd később lesz körökre osztott harcrendszer benne, de ugye előtte nagyon sokat kell beszélgetni, mivel RPG, és ugye hatalmas története van, és kegyetlen sok achievement van benne. Ezért most így ennyi lesz erre az epizódra. Köszönöm szépen a figyelmet mindenkinek, és a későbbiekben még találkozunk ezzel a játékkal, mert érdekes, hogy így ennyire összetett és nagy történet, történeti háttere van ennek a játéknak, úgyhogy ja, majd találkozunk a következő streamben videóban, és mindenféleképpen elő fogjuk még venni ezt a játékot, még legalább egy kicsit megnézzük, hogy milyen a harcrendszer, milyen a további történet, meg hogy milyen lesz a temetés, meg ilyenek, milyennek is apróságok jönnek elő. Mert szerintem ez egy hasonló game lesz, mint mondjuk a Darkest Darker, csak annyi, hogy itt mi fogunk undormányokat előhívni, és velük harcolni lent ilyen hasonló kazamatákba. Úgyhogy én nevében voltam, és ha még nem tettek, akkor kövessél be egy Twitch-en, vagy iratkozz fel YouTube-on, vagy mind a két helyen. Ha YouTube-on nézek, a videó leírásában találod a Twitch-et, meg a többi platformot, ha pedig Twitch-en nézek, a névjegyzékbe találod a platformokat. Értelmes csatlakozni a Discordunkhoz is, mert ott is ugye elég sok információval látlak el benneteket, hogy milyen játékok jönnek, vagy akár, hogy milyen játékokat lehet nyerni a csatornán. Érdemes nyomni a YouTube-on a lájkokat, a diszlájkokat, a megosztásokat, a kommenteket írogatni, mert nagyon sokat segítetek vele, és hogyha élőben akartok nézni, akkor persze Twitch-en megtaláltok. Általában elég sokszor. Úgyhogy én el is búcsúzom, de szép napotok, köszönöm szépen a fejlesztőnek és a kiadónak, hogy hát meghívott erre a kampányra. Nem hittem volna, hogy ennyire tele van szöveggel, úgyhogy kicsit le is pillattam erre a dologra, úgyhogy tényleg a következő részben remélhetőleg már fogunk találni valami kis akciót is. Úgyhogy ja, meg lehet, hogy keresek hozzá a magyarosítást, mert ez így eléggé nehézkes angol tudás nélkül. Úgyhogy szerintem azoknak ajánlom eddig, akiknek nagyobb angol tudásuk van, mert azok jobban fogják érteni ezt az egészet. Na de én el is búcsúzom, legyen további szép napotok, és találkozunk a következő streamben, videóban, legyetek jók, sziasztok!